what's good, Yano Saucers? We are back with some more backlog. This time it's the Great... It's the Great Forest Park Balloon Race. There it is. I had to check my title. So this is like a big hot air balloon extravaganza that happens in St. Louis every year. I've always heard about it, never been until, now last year. It was in September. It was awesome. Forest Park is a huge park in St. Louis. It's actually one, best park in America, best public park in America, something like that at some point. Really cool. If you're ever in St. Louis, make sure you check it out. They have crazy events like this. I've always heard about it, never been. So last year I was like, I'm going. Went to Forest Park. Couldn't find a place to park at all. It was crazy, madhouse. This was actually the evening before the Great Race, whatever that means, happened the next morning. And I was like, I got my fill in this night in terms of the crowd. Really the parking. It was going to be Uber or nothing the next day. I was like, man, I saw the balloons. Good enough. But anyway, I thought I would share this because it was awesome. It's going to start out with mostly pictures, and then it's going to get into some videos. So the night before, they kind of line up all the balloons. I guess, I don't know how this works. Sponsored, obviously, Children's Hospital, PNC Bank is what I'm looking at here. Next. And it was kind of cool. Somebody would blow an air horn, and then everybody would just and start blowing fire into their balloons. And and after that, they let you actually walk up and talk to the people who are running these things. And that was really interesting because I don't know anything about hot air balloons. And I got to talk to some of them. Next. Geez, that's like the same picture 3 times in a row. Hey, look, somebody taking a picture of me. All right. Hey, I should have waved. And I'm just kidding. It's a selfie, I know. Next. Oh, geez. I don't know. I must have had rapid fire on the shutter finger because I took a lot of the same pictures here. But it was really cool. Man, I already forgot most of what they said. You could walk them there, see the fuel canisters they had. See, I already forget what fuel they said they used. It's a problem with doing these later. Backlog is cool. It always means I got something to do, but it also means that I forget things. Next. Jeez, how many pictures of this balloon did I take? I was trying to get it with all the fire going. I kind of remember that. Is that a movie? No. Blurry. Come on. Oh, I probably didn't realize my phone was in night mode and I was shaking it around. Yeah, I was getting sort of dark at this time. But in terms of the balloons, pretty cool. The one thing I do remember is somebody told me point blank, you need to have $1 million insurance policy before they even let you in the park with your balloon. Not surprised at that. All this fire, obviously something could go wrong pretty quickly. And I actually talked to them about ballooning, and it's cheaper than you might think. These balloons are less than $1 million. And the guy I talked to said he had 2 or 3 of them. And I'm trying to think. The place they said to go is New Mexico. And I've been out west before to Arizona. And see, I want to not talk while I'm clicking because I want to make sure I can hear the clicks on the microphone. So when I'm going back to put the video together, I know when to switch pictures. All right, here's the video finally. Yeah, so somebody honked the horn and they all started blowing air at them at the same time. But he said, or she said, can't remember now, that New Mexico is world famous for hot air ballooning because they have box winds, I think they called them, where you get winds that blow perpendicular to each other at different altitudes. So you can go up, and blow east for a little bit, and then go higher, and then you're blowing south, and then you go higher, and you're blowing west, and then a little bit higher, and you're blowing north. I'm sure that's oversimplified and probably incorrect on some level, but that's what I left the conversation thinking. And so they were like, yeah, New Mexico is a great place for hot air ballooning because you can do a bunch of ballooning and not really traverse a long distance, which I always wondered that. Hold on, next. Yeah, I asked him that too. Like, how do you control this thing? Because you really don't. You go up, you can kind of go down, but you're at the mercy of the wind. And somebody told me something. It was a real funny anecdote. He's like, I was like, how do you land? And he was, I'm gonna forget it. He said it a really funny way. I'm pretty sure I texted it. If I go back and read my text message. But he said something like, you always have a choice whether to fly or not. You don't have a choice to land. I butchered that, but the thought was, next, that, if you're going to go up in the balloon, you better get it down safely, I think is what he was getting at. And yeah, I don't know I still am a little confused about it, because you land, who knows where you're going to land? How do you even pack this thing up? Because when you break these balloons down and fold them up, they do fold up, but you need like a big honking truck to like tow these things around, And what if you land in a place that's not truck accessible? I don't know what you do. Next. Yeah, I'm going to be guessing it when to scroll pictures in the video, so. Yeah, it is pretty cool, though. Yeah, so about the videos. Yeah, this is actually a pretty cool video. You can see how it changes brightness very quickly. We're on to the next one now. Yeah, so all these videos were taken with my phone. They're all 1080p, 30 frames a second, and I'm like, man, my phone should be able to do better than that. Because I just got a new one at the end of last year, and I went to the video settings, and yeah, it does do up to 4K at 60 frames a second. But you see the white, I don't know if it's white balance, maybe brightness. It's adjusting very quickly on the fly. My GoPro would not be able to do that. That's what I'm getting at. So pretty cool to see the different software at work. So these were the Golden Knights parachuting down. Very awesome. They're a parachute demonstration team, much like the Blue Angels are a flight demonstration team. And yeah, this is just a preview. There's a better video coming up, which I'm going to shut up on because the guy's explaining the entire time about what they're doing. I guess this next one. Yeah, so they actually have these sparks attached to or coming out of a thing attached to their chute. Some kind of mechanism. They're controlling with a chess control box, I think he said. You're about to hear it. I'll shut up. I'm also going to get a copyright strike for this song. That's cool. Alright, I hope there's more coming, because I thought that there was a big explanation.
Painted C-147 jump aircraft. The jumpers are out, and the sparks are on. These jumpers are forming one of the many mass formations possible while in free fall. And our wingsuit pilot is circling them at 120 miles per hour. As the formation continues to fall, the team leader will give a thumbs up, signaling all jumpers to perform our bomb burst maneuver. This is our salute to all of you attending tonight's show. The trail of sparks each jumper leaves in the sky are created by a bundle of pyrotechnic devices. The jumper attaches these to 1 foot with a specially designed bracket and then activates and deactivates them with a control box attached to their chest strap. In addition to creating an impressive show, these pyrotechnics allow the jumpers to easily locate each other in free fall and under canopy. These jumpers are faced with a unique situation, a traffic jam in the sky. They must gain vertical separation to allow for individual approaches into the target area. This is accomplished by pulling down the front part of the parachute and spiraling down at speeds in excess of 60 miles per hour. The parachutes used by the Golden Knights are flexible wing gliders constructed of lightweight ripstop nylon. These parachutes have an inherent forward airspeed of 22 miles per hour. To turn left, the jumper pulls down on the left steering line. To turn right, he simply pulls down the right steering line. As these jumpers near the ground, they will pull down on both steering lines simultaneously for the safest and softest possible landing. These jumpers train year-round on piloting their parachute, but they always seem to fly better when they can hear the roar of a beautiful Missouri crowd. Let's make some noise as they bring it into the target area.
Woo!
The parachute has 7 openings in the front, which allows air to be forced in, inflating this flexible wing glider. You may notice the tail of the parachute curl under. This slows the jumper's forward movement and rate of descent. At 1,000 feet, the jumpers will do what is called a wind penetration check, gauging their speed and distance across the ground. If you have any pictures or videos from tonight's show, tag us on social media at Army Golden Knights. Now, as the last of the jumpers reach the ground, that will conclude our performance for the evening. And on behalf of the entire team, I would like to thank each and every one of you for being such a warm and receptive airborne audience. In closing, I leave you with this final thought. In the future, may all your days be prosperous and your nights golden.
Woo!
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And then they ended with some fireworks. Yeah, I've seen the Golden Knights before. It's just crazy to think what those guys can do. I know very little about it, but I know that, I mean, not just the Golden Knights, but like in practice, they'll do hey-ho parachuting, which is high altitude, high opening, and halo, which is high altitude, low opening. It's crazy. But this is the last video. Fireworks actually turned out pretty good, contrary to most of my pictures, videos of fireworks. Hope you enjoyed it. Backlog up next is Renaissance Fair. Stick around. It's awesome.